September 17th, 1984, 6:22 a.m. a baby boy was born in a little suburb outside of Chicago. The kid will be forever crowned Theo tomorrow. Now you might have heard about him, yeah, he's Teddy the Sum. And for all his adversaries, yeah, he's ready for dumb. But you can't take him out with a machete or gun, because the kid's so hot that he can carry the sun. And his reign over hip-hop has barely begun. But when the trumpet does sound and the chariots come, you'll see, though it might be scary for some, they gon' say that nigga go right there, he's the one.
What's up? Teddy MC, Ypsilanti, Michigan native, 734 all day. Shouts out to Heatwave Entertainment, Alibi Crew, Concrete Jungle, Boss Battle League. Yeah, here to tell my story. One of the first people who got me into music was my mom, actually. I'm adopted, and my birth mother and birth father were in a band together. My mother was the singer of the band, my father was the drummer in the band, and I actually do vocals and play drums. So my mom received a letter from my birth mother that was like, you know, if Teddy shows any interest in music, like, please expand on that. Like, so my mom took me to Oz's music every Thursday. I'd be really excited, and then like that got me like hype on like playing in band and doing choir, and just like I just love music my entire life because my mom planted that seed. And you know, that's just like my first taste of like, oh, I can actually do this, and it kind of comes naturally to me. I always like wrote rhymes, you know, from like listening to like Crisscross and then, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and like, you know, like Biggie and Tupac. You know, you see these guys and like they were like the cool guys with like the fancy clothes, and like, you know, you want like they got like girls around them and stuff like that and money. But it was really like the people's imaginations and like the stories they would tell. You know what I mean? It's just like, and the way they did it. I think that's really what caught on to me. It's like, yo, I can do that. I wanna do that. I started taking music, I guess, seriously. It was like once I got out of high school. It was really back when I linked up with Danny and AP. Danny was doing music, I was rapping, and like P was writing freestyles and stuff like that. But like that's when we were like, yo, like we can at least try like do stuff. I've always like kind of messed around a little bit, but that's when I think things really started to click. The transition between electronic and like hip hop, like I've always been listening to hip hop, and just me being like an MC or like a rapper or whatever, obviously you're gonna be into hip hop in the first place. And then I kind of started to get into like, I guess like the rave scene or like the techno scene, whatever. I met my good friend Rob, DJ Nimbus. I heard like these crazy different beats that like, you know, anything from like 135 BPM to like 180 BPM, just beats just like flying, and like nobody was rapping over them.
I gotta be keeping them bouncing. Teddy MC, you already know we flowing just like a fountain. Me and my team be getting the dough, the money that I be counting.
I was already rapping. It wasn't about. It was just natural for me. Like I think it comes from me playing drums. I just understand the way that the beats work, and I just learned to adapt to a different style. And I was already going out to these parties. It was a new world for me. I just freestyle for an hour, you know. It was kind of like, what 17, 18-year-old kid is gonna turn that down? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, hey, I'm 17 in the club getting free drinks and $50 to rap, and you know what I'm saying? Girls are like, hey, I've never seen that before, you know, whatever. So it was cool. It was actually kind of a natural progression for me. It took maybe 6 months, but I've always had hip hop roots, and now I'll always have electronic music roots. And like you see now, most of the music on you know, TV or the radio is like heavily influenced by EDM and, you know, the stuff that I was doing 10 years ago. So Alibi Crew started when I met Stephen Glentley, DIY, big shouts out to him. He saw me, I was doing Monday nights at the Necto in Ann Arbor. We had a drum and bass weekly there that ran forever. And he's like talking to me about drum and bass, and like he's really into hip hop. He's like name dropping like a lot of people that like, I'm like, word, you're like in underground hip hop, you're into drum and bass. He's talking to me about like gear and equipment, and like he's like, you know anybody who needs turntables, like all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this guy like knows what he's doing. I think probably by like the fourth time that we hung out, like we had the idea for what would be Alibi Crew, which started off as just like a Thursday night. Like there was like already the Monday night thing that I was doing at Necto, and then it turned into like a Thursday club night. It was like Alibi Thursdays, and then it turned into Alibi Crew because we were running with the same dudes, our same resident DJs, and you know, we've had a really fun run. We've got stickers all across town and stuff like that. I'll see people with like t-shirts and sweatshirts all over. Like Alibi Crew really kind of brought hip hop and drum and bass and jungle like together into one space in Ypsilanti, where like I know there's at least a half dozen junglists who used to be hip hop heads and like junglists who like now listen to hip hop because, you know, like we just like, this is what we like. We're just gonna do what we want to do. It just seemed right, and it actually worked out. And then from there, it actually spawned Boss Battle League.
See, here's my show enough drama impression. Nigga, I'm a gangster. Let's go. I can start with a weapon. Let's go. I ain't never killed nobody, but my dog almost caught and attempted.
I think as a rapper, for the most part, like I like to freestyle. As a freestyle MC, like you're gonna find yourself in a cypher. Somebody's gonna diss you. You're gonna get into a battle. Like I feel like every rapper has been in some sort of battle at some point in their life. You know what I mean? Or like you know what I mean? It's just like it's competition. It's a male-dominated art form. You know what I mean? And like men are very competitive people. So like I think oh, you do your thing, I do my thing. Like I'm better than you. So from that, you know, we start doing the battle stuff, and like I was always into like the more like 8 Mile style, like freestyle battles. Like I won some competition at the shelter, and feeling like I kind of know what I'm doing as far as battle rap is concerned. And then Stefan put me onto Grind Time, and like today's format, which is like all acapella, written format.
Now, nigga, your nose is oversized. With a swift inhale, it'll control the tides. So watch his fucking swollen nose slowly start to grow and grow something like Pinocchio. Cause the last round all he told was lies. That nose got a mind of its own. Swear to God that bitch couldn't get no bigger. Shit, I heard it's a lady killer and got a part-time job as a babysitter.
Hope we look at battle, you know, 6 months in advance or something like that, where like these guys are like writing and like you're creating a performance. It's like the equivalent of recording a song in one take, except the other guy's recording the song in one take against you. And so, I don't know, you know, a lot of people see 8 Mile and they think like it's just like, yo DJ, drop the beat. And it's like, no, it's like you are in a silent room and you have to convince 50 to 100 people that you're better than this guy who's standing right in front of you, and he's got a chance to come back at you. And it's just crazy. And so like I was just obsessed with this culture. Like I watched like every video within like probably like 2 weeks that I could find. And I'm like, man, we gotta do this. Yeah, and we started a rap battle league, and the first event was terrible.
Battle League, I'm your host Teddy MC. We out here writing on the wall. Blind Pig, how the fuck are you feeling?
Second time, we came back around. We got a lot of people to show up. Got a ton of rappers, multiple venues, like really good events, and like been able to like branch out to other rap battle leagues. I've been able to travel out of state and battle myself, just from, you know, kind of starting my own league and just getting my name out there and getting a little bit of buzz. And yeah, that stems from Heat Wave and then to Alibi Crew to Boss Battle League, and yeah, here we are. I still think to this day, like the highlight of my career is anytime that I've performed at DEM for like the Detroit Electronic Music Festival, which is now known as Movement. We like show up and it's in the middle of Hart Plaza. We're downtown Detroit. It's a beautiful day on Memorial Day weekend. And they've got like, we're playing on like the Red Bull stage. There's like big screens and like people are like taking pictures, and you know what I'm saying? It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We got like 800 kids out there that just want to hear us play music. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can gather 800 people anywhere. You're doing something. You know what I mean? Like you should feel proud of yourself. In Hart Plaza, there's like in the back by the waterfront, there's the big like pyramid. I like climbed up on it, and security's yelling at me like, "Hey, get down from there, get down from there. You know, you're not supposed to be up there." And like I look over and like I see myself on this like It was like a jumbotron for like a football game, you know what I'm saying? Like just huge. I'm like looking over the city of Detroit with a microphone in my hand. It was like the coolest experience in the entire world as far as music goes. I think some of the work that's involved though too for like what we've done is just like the late night studio sessions are really dope, because that's where you come up with like the coolest stuff. 3 a.m. and we're hanging out, you know, smoking and drinking and just like ready to shut it down, and then somebody comes up with that idea. You know what I mean? And you're like, word, we got a song. You're like, oh, it's 3. We're gonna be here till 5, but this is cool. Like, let's do this. You know what I mean? You wake up the next day and like you pop that in your CD player. You're like, yeah, you know what I mean? So like the showmanship is awesome in one sense, but like it's like, I think like I've created my best friends just from like those late night sessions too. I don't know what's next yet. I'm all game playing right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm standing back and I'm kind of like reassessing, but I'm not done. I'm definitely not done. It's going to be entertaining. Whatever.
Time to get trashed. So long, I forgot what sober feels like. 'Cause I like to get those every single day and night. As long as I find my way home, then I'ma be alright. So I drink some, smoke some, get blow. Drink some, smoke some, get blow.